think we're just getting warmed up here. Just give me a better moment. I'll lower that a little bit so you can hear the wonderful dulcet tones of my voice. before it all goes down. All goes down is a bit hard to say. Before stuff goes down, some stuff, I guess. How does any of this work? There we go. Sorry, I'm just absolutely stuffing something up, I'm sure. That one. There we go. Good. And done. Alright. Tweets, blue skies, all that sort of stuff is posted. We're live. Hooray. Happy days. Hope everyone is having a fantastic and not so unordinary Tuesday. Unlike me, who was having a very unordinary Tuesday. Hold on, I've actually turned my mic on. I'm like, yeah, yay. Hello, happy Tuesday. Happy end to the Tuesday for me. Happy start to the Tuesday for many of you. Maybe even really early starting on the Tuesdays. As a couple of my viewers have had before, where it's really early in the morning over in the Americas. So if you're seeing this later, or if you're really up early, hello, welcome. If you haven't seen me before, my name is OldTimerVT. The VT is for VTuber, the old timer is for myself, who is very old. Yes, inside, hello! And yeah, as for who I am the wrinkliest VTuber. Probably the oldest. Maybe not. That's disputed still. Definitely the wrinkliest. And what am I doing here today? Well, I'm doing very calm discussions. Because I gotta go to hospital tomorrow. Very routine procedure, but I gotta do it because it's gotta be done. That's as much as it has to be said. I can say more about it, but yeah, that was very, very chill. Fab editing skills account. You like it? You like it? Hold on, this is where I need to like show it off. This is where if I could actually can I twist this in any way? Is there a rotate button here? Hold on. Transform. Flip. No, I can't do anything. I was like, I'll show it off. I can't really show it off. It just has to sit here. But thank you for mentioning the gown. I opened my best editing tool and edited it. And the grandkids look at this, and the kids look at this, and think, why did we ever teach him how to do this? Grandpa, we should have taught you more things. No, I think it's perfect. I showed my wife, she's like, that's perfect. I like how the sleeves don't go into the sleeves. I said, thank you, dear. Should I fix it? She's like, well, I would fix it, but you do you. You do whatever makes you happy. And the fact that it doesn't actually even line up makes me very happy. To show the height of my image editing skills, really. But yeah, I mean, this is probably what I'll be wearing. I don't know, about 12 hours from now, so I'm gonna do it. Gives it personality. Yeah, something like that. What's your personality trait? I can't do image editing. My sleeves go into my sleeves. I'm always dapper. When really, you gotta wear these while you're naked. If anyone's actually been to a hospital, they don't give you a hospital gown and say, yeah, just put that over your existing clothes. They say, strip. And then you have that awkward moment where you're trying to tie the ties behind your butt so that your butt's not flying around. It doesn't matter what you do, your butt's always flying around. I think nurses and doctors have probably seen more butts than they wish they ever had in their life. Probably at a certain point, it's just like, okay, it's just another ass. Another asshole. Another day, another 100 assholes come to the hospital. And yeah, that's usually how it looks. Very stylish, as always. It's impossible to look stylish in a hospital gown. I'm sure someone can do it. I've never succeeded, personally. It's always been a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a dog's breakfast, me in a hospital gown. So at least I thought, I'll keep the shirt on underneath. That said, I definitely cannot draw the wrinkles on the arms. And if I ever actually commission someone to do a proper model of this, They'll be terrified by the prospect of having to actually do arms. That'd be terrifying for them. Arms and hands are hard enough. Try doing them with wrinkles. Doubly difficult. Yeah, what else have I got to bed? Yeah, anyway, so that's how it's been my experience at the moment, and that's why tonight, instead of playing Fallout New Vegas, which, you know, is still very tempting, because the button's right there to touch Fallout New Vegas, but I've promised that I'm going to be talking about hospitals instead. But, you know, that would be too stressful. And there's two reasons I definitely can't play Fallout New Vegas. One, I've got to relax before my procedure tomorrow. You know, I can't have a too exciting night. I need to get my rest. I need to fast, which we're doing right now. And secondly is, part of that fasting means you take a certain special medicine, and that means that I have the ending scene, the ending stream button handy, just in case I have to absolutely book it to the loo. Sorry if that's a bit TMI. I can give you more TMI. Which, too much information, that's the one, right? TMI? Yeah. I always think of it as Tim. TMI is, yeah, too much information. I could always give you more information, but, the less that's said, I think the better. I've got to keep some sort of class. Some semblance of, class, yeah, I don't know, of wisdom and age. I mean, I think that's what the procedure is. You probably can't, actually. I mean, I'll tell you now, it's actually just a hernia procedure. That said, it's you're probably thinking the other things you do, the other butt procedures. Same problem. Same problem. And any man at my age, you don't get to this age without having a couple of those. That's for sure. That's for sure. Kids, look forward to them. The drink is disgusting. The experience is very memorable. But once you go in this surgery, it's you blink and you forget it. It's just gone. The lead up's the worst part. The lead up's the worst part to them checking your butt. But it's got to be done. Very important to check your butt. Just make sure, everyone, get your butt checked. Especially once you get to my age. If anyone is in chat or watches this later, and it's anywhere near my age, and you haven't got your butt checked, you're missing out. And also, you need to talk to your doctor. Don't come to me for medical advice. Talk to a professional. Not a professional yapper, which I am not even. I'm an amateur yapper. Amateur talker. Amateur VTuber. I'm not even I don't know if I'm a professional at anything, really. I'm just a hobbyist, a dabbler, an amateur. Don't take any advice from this guy. If you like listening to me, fine. If you're taking my words of wisdom, find someone better. I'm sure I have some gems of wisdom somewhere in here, but they're buried very far down under brain cells that barely connect together anymore. As I always say, I'll say on these streams and I'll say it again, I've forgotten more than I probably ever do. It doesn't seem... You think that doesn't make sense? No, I've forgotten more than I ever do. It seems to make sense to me. No, but actually it's just it's going to be a hernia operation, which is basically, if you haven't heard of those before, it's when you lift, and as you can tell by my very buff experience, it's just from all the amazing gym work I was doing. Gym work being, picking up kids. That's basically it. Instead of pressing, you know, what do they do in a gym? Dumbbells and bench presses, that's it, bench pressing, and doing the sick gains, as they say, for this, you know, for the abs and the biceps and the triceps and the other muscles that have the word seps in them. I just picked up some kids too many times. Some grandkids too many times, or kids, and all that over the years. Maybe that combined with COVID. I think COVID might have been the last straw on me having any sort of fitness routine. And, yeah, then I picked up too many grandkids and kids, and generally speaking, something went... And, that was... And now I have a really big outie, a belly button. Never had an outie before, and now it's well beyond just an outie. It's out there. It's out there, something severe. But, yeah. Oh, I was actually going to change. I totally forgot to do this. Hold on. I've got the wrong background here. Oh, I can't fix it because it's part of the VTuber scene, isn't it? No, it's not part of the VTuber scene. What is it actually part of? It's part of... Ooh, this one. Wait. Oh, it is part of that one. Okay, hold on. We can fix this. Oh, it's too small. Now, there we go. Hospital procedure. Oh, it's so glary in here. They always have to turn the lights up too high in the hospitals, I tell you what. Can't just get away with a shut-eye, can you, anymore? God, that's really bright. But the environment I'll be in a few hours. But yeah, hernias, no fun. Big outy belly button, and yeah, gotta get it looked at, gotta get it fixed. This will be a good fix, hopefully. Hopefully it never happens again. And then I can go back to picking up the grandkids when they say, "Granddad, throw me up." And I go, oh, okay, this will probably destroy me, and it does. It absolutely destroys me. I need a nap after that. I mean, generally speaking, I need a nap anyway. I need a nap most of the time. I can blame the exertion on the grandkids, but just generally getting up, going to work, I need a nap doing that. By 10 a.m., I'm ready for a nap. And then I push through 11 to get to lunch. And then I eat a big lunch, and then I want a nap for that too. And then the workday ends, want a nap after that. Then you have dinner, and then you want to have a nap after that because you're full. But then dessert perks you up, and then you're streaming. And now after I finish streaming, it's more than a nap I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need absolutely pass out. And hopefully have a good sleep before my little visit tomorrow. So yeah. Yeah, what else is going on in the world? Destin Son, how's life? I hope life's treating you well. And anyone else in chat. I hope that life's going alright for you too. And that you have no hospital procedures coming up unless you are looking to have hospital procedures coming up. And that you're excited for them. No one's really that excited to go to a hospital, I think. Ever. Every time I've gone to a hospital, it's been, well, pretty awful. Awful or boring. That's sort of the only two reasons I've ever seen for a hospital. Awful or boring. I guess, sorry. Baby births are obviously maybe seen as a bit of an exception. But, I don't know if the mother thinks that. They hate the hospital part. They just want to get out of there. At least my experience. They love that the baby's there. That's great. Baby's out. Fantastic. Very happy occasion. The hospital shindig of all that is the bit that they can all basically take it or leave it. It's one of the reasons so many people still do home births. And why probably they'll never get people to not do home births, even though it's, not as safe, that's for sure. And, from experience, you definitely do want to be in or near a hospital, just because you never know with that sort of stuff. You can't be safe enough. But, yeah, well, then you're still at a hospital after it, and you'd rather not be. But other than that, that's a big sort of standout exception. Most other experiences I can think of are awful or boring. Most are boring, actually, which is annoying. Usually you're in a hospital and you don't want to be. I mean, you're always in a hospital and you don't want to be, I guess, it's sort of that case. But in the boring ones, you just sit there going, oh, well, here we are, again. For a really normal thing, but hey, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. And hey, glad I'm in the Australian healthcare system for that, that's true. That's for sure. I know I have a few American viewers, so I don't know how much they relate to this. But I'm getting fixed for free here. I pay my taxes, and this gets fixed. I will continue to pay my taxes, obviously. So it's all very accounted for. And hell, there was a heck of a wait, that's for sure. I could have paid a lot to get this fixed privately, and yet probably still cheaper than people in America. I probably shouldn't talk too much about it. I assume most people that are on Twitch understand the depressing nature of American healthcare. From afar, it just looks insane. Absolutely. I don't get it. I've never talked to anyone who can really explain it to me. But I also don't think I want them to, because I'm very happy with my experiences in Australia with the healthcare system. So, 10 out of 10, can recommend. Parking tickets are a bit much, you know. Sometimes they're quite expensive, but that's basically it usually. That said, I have had to do a couple of private procedures as well. At this age, again, you go through a bit of a gamut of procedures. A couple of things, you know, things will happen here, things will happen there. Yeah, good. Lucky is the life that is able to dodge the hospital, you know, for as much as they can. I've known some very healthy people who, like, never get sick. One of my best friends just never gets sick. Doesn't matter what happens. You could have a room full of people who are dying of the plague, basically, and he just won't get it. He just sit there going, oh, do you think he just never gets sick? So it's actually ridiculous. I'm so jealous, because I'm the opposite. Basically, if there's COVID 6 houses over, I'll catch it somehow. As an example. But my friend, yeah, he doesn't actually catch anything. We're basically the opposite, polar opposites. But even then, it doesn't matter. Things happen. Things happen. And you get your knees replaced, and you get your hips fixed, and you get your hernias shoved back in. In my case. But, yeah, I mean, it's just life. It's life how it works. And, hopefully, to anyone watching, you just don't have too many hospital visits, and they're only for joyous occasions. Like babies. Babies is a joyous occasion. Sucks to do it. Some mums love the childbirth thing. Not the women I've seen do it in my experience. Love the baby, don't love the procedure. But hey, the kids are beautiful after that. Do you also like getting sick with a cold or something? It gives me an excuse to sleep enough. Yeah, I get ya. Unless you have other stresses that are letting you not happily sleep enough, as I've had sometimes in my life. Right now, if I got sick, yeah, I probably would be like, yeah, it's okay, I can sleep it off a bit. Sort of, depends. Between the wife's work and dealing with the grandkids, sometimes it's not as easy, but, and dealing with kids, but, yes, some days, I get you. When I was a young and strapping bachelor, like 150 years ago, I actually just used to love doing that. I just be like, I have no responsibilities other than work. So I'm going to message work, because I feel terrible. And I go to message work and say, I cannot come in today. Please cover XYZ. And then I'd roll over and have some of the best sleep I ever had in my life. To be fair. Some of the best sleep ever. Whereas nowadays, but then if you have other stresses, unfortunately, it just doesn't, you can't just switch off so easily. You think, oh no, what about the rent? What about the mortgage? What about, you know, the school pickups, the school drop-offs? What about that big shindig that's going on? Oh, I'm sick, but so is the wife? Well, that doesn't mean I can roll over and go back to sleep sometimes, can it? Responsibilities get in the way of being sick sometimes. I think I was sicker before I had kids. And then I had kids and I was so healthy. And by healthy, I mean just more healthy. I wasn't actually really healthy. But, you know, suddenly eating better and not getting sick as often. And that's because I just knew sometimes I'm like, well, I won't actually be sleeping in bed, will I? I'll be actually still taking care of a baby or a toddler or something, or, you know, be running kids to school or to events or something like that. And you just think, I'll just tough it out. Probably a very shared experience at a certain point. Just toughing it out. Maybe a bit of a dad experience. But, yeah, no, I remember just being able to sleep in. They were the days. I miss sleeping in. At this age, I just don't sleep in. You can't. So for some reason, nothing lets you sleep. I don't know what it is. I just can't sleep through. I've never been able to since I think I was about 22. It's like something clicked at that age where I just could not stay in bed for long enough. Oh, sorry, for as long as I wanted. I don't have kids, but I have nephews and nieces. I'm getting sick maybe every other winter to pick up different bucket of time visit them. Yeah, it can go the other way too. So in my experience, when I first had my first child, it was a joyous occasion. It was fantastic. And then, he was staying at home for a long time while he's a baby. And so did the mother while I was working. And then, they started daycare, basically. And in the daycare, they made other kids. And famously, you get the daycare flu, basically. The daycare virus, the daycare bugs. Which is basically an amazing cocktail of multiple snotty, phlegmy, gross toddlers and babies who don't wipe hands, don't wash hands, and they touch everything and they shove it all in their mouths. And they don't just develop the flu, they develop some super bug. And probably if a scientist looked at it, they would go, I don't know what that is. that's 25 things in there. Just have some soup, take some Panadol. And it's absolutely, my second kid was better, maybe because she had an older brother. But my first kid probably had so many just days at home in the sort of second year of his life, basically. Instead of doing daycare, just had to spend time at home the whole time, and that happens. And then it passes on to you too, and you think, God, I hope I'm dying. This is rough. And then you think, oh, maybe it's just man flu. I'm exaggerating it. Then the wife gets it, and she looks like she's dying. You think, okay, it's not the man flu. It's actually it's the real flu, or the real super bug, or whatever. I find it hilarious. Their parents were like, oh yeah, XYZ is going to school. And the Sprogs are just little plague bearers. They absolutely are. You want to see a modern day plague? Put your kid into daycare, or a preschool, or whatever it is. If you skip the preschool or daycare phase, they're just going to catch it once they can start public school. Whatever it is, kids just don't, they're gross. Kids are gross. I should know, I was a kid once upon a time. Like 75 years ago or something, I don't know. And it was a messy time. I was gross. And then I watched kids and grandkids, and they're gross. It's a gross thing, kids. When do they clean up? I don't know if they ever clean up. I was gonna say adulthood, but I've seen some pretty gross adults. I guess it depends on the person. Kids, like people, are very different. They come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and grossness levels. Fortunately, I think I'm quite a clean person. Not a clean freak. Oh well, definitely not a clean freak. I'm literally, I can look to my left. If I look to my left right now, I see a dead cockroach. But that's Australia for you. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's ever... Actually, I don't know if that's an experience shared around the world. I know cockroaches are everywhere. But, you know, summertime in Australia, living near, gum trees, it's just cockroaches. And the spiders. And the spiders aren't killing the cockroaches fast enough. I need more spiders. I tell you what, I need some bigger spiders here. There's way more cockroaches than there are spiders. I need to hatch a brood of spiders. Good ones too. Ones that'll get me the cockroaches done. Get out of my house. Well, I mean, they're in my house, but they're dead. Not even through. I don't even want to see them through the front door. I need a spider on every door, every crevice. What's a good cockroach killing spider? I don't know. The spiders I got must be too small or scared. I have a pretty big one in the backyard. He doesn't move at all, though. Maybe he had a cockroach 2 weeks ago. I need more of him. More of him. Although we did actually, speaking of broods, I actually did randomly hatch a, there was a hatched nest of net catchers. Oh, I think they're called net catchers. I'll see if I can find them. Netcaster. Netcaster? Is it netcaster? Netcaster spiders. Something like that. Where? Yeah, like this. Yeah, netcaster. Whereas the good old Reddit post. Reddit's got it all. I don't know, where's my I don't remember where my thing is. Where's all the buttons here? He's like, check off for most bugs, but in some of them just get a few blue bottles on the window sill no matter how frequently you do house clean. Blue bottles is a spider? You don't mean the jellyfish, I assume. Is blue bottle a spider? I don't even know if I know that spider. My wife might know that spider. She's pretty cluey on it. Blue bottle flies. Okay. Because it's blue bottle in Australia is a completely different thing. Absolutely. Completely different thing. Hold on, is this the right button? Oh, it is. Hey! Oh, except it's too zoomed in. I don't want to zoom. Warning, spider warning, spider warning. Oh, I've done the wrong thing here too, haven't I? No, that one? This one. There we go, spider warning. That's a netcaster. Very friendly. Very friendly. Basically, they don't even spin webs. They spin webs between their legs, and they use it to like catch flies, like you would catch fish or something like that. They go swipe, swipe, and they catch some flies. Very friendly. Yeah, we actually had a brood of these hatch in our backyard recently. And what's really interesting, they apparently, and I didn't see it happen, but this is what my wife tells me, but they flew away, they fly away. They basically make a little parachute of web, and then they just float off into the distance. And probably land on someone's head. Apologies to anyone who's arachnophobia. I'll turn that off in case you do. I don't love spiders, but, you know, I've seen a billion of them. You see a billion of them, and you sort of eventually go, ah. I mean, yes, like any person, I don't like when they're crawling at me. Some people are able to handle it. That would my sister nightmare, flying spiders. A lot of them do. Don't tell your sister, but tell you what, a lot of spiders jump, fly, float. It happens. And just as many live underground. Like, they're everywhere. There's so many spiders. How many spiders are there? Let's just quickly Google that. How many spiders are there in the world? Google AI says, and I don't know how believable Google AI says, oh, but the Australia Museum, which is much more reputable, does say something else completely different, which is... Well, let me actually just get that over there. Spiders, arachnia. Let's move myself a little to the right, too. Hold on, so I can actually read this. If I had an actual model, I'd probably move to the left. Or I'd jiggle, but I can't jiggle. I could just move. I can go here, I can go here. That's about it. Spiders, it says somewhere here, look, worldwide there's about 70,000 species of arachnid, of which 36,000 spiders. There's only 2,900 in Australia. I don't know why people are saying we have so much. The rest of you have more. There's more spiders everywhere else in the world. So pat yourself on the back, so you're doing pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a uniquely Australian, well, not uniquely Australian thing. I thought, like a lot of people, that, yeah, we have a lot of spiders here. Maybe it's a population measure, or maybe it's just, not many people here, a lot of spiders. Maybe they're just bigger here. I don't know what it is. We must be some reason for our reputation for spiders, right? But, yeah, most of them are around the world, other than Australia. So, count yourselves lucky. There's probably have lots of spiders in your neighborhood, too. Lucky you! Yeah, like anyone, well, not anyone, some people are fine with this, but like most people, I can't handle a spider crawling up me. I really can't. I can't handle it. I don't want to see it. If something crawls up me, I hate it. It doesn't even need to be a spider. It can be ants. I'm like, ugh. Ants. In fact, usually ow ants, because they like to bite me instead of actually just crawling me. But spiders, ugh. If they actually crawl on you, ugh. But, yeah, and if I see them around somewhere comfortable, then I do get a bit, you know, keep an eye out for that guy. I have to keep checking every 2 seconds. Like when I moved to this house, there was a giant huntsman in the corner, and I was like, okay, I think we're friends, but I have to check you every 10 minutes. Just to make sure that we are friends, and you're not annoyed by the fact that I've actually moved into this new house. And, I don't know if we're friends, because he's left. I must be too noisy for him. He did not last long in this house. He just went, this old codger's here, and I can't stand the noise and the farting. All these old people groans every time he goes upstairs. Every time I open the garage and look at the mess. The spider had enough of me. He moved out. It was not a long relationship between me and him. But, yeah, no, still lots of other spiders around. And the netcaster, yeah, there's a netcaster we found who had an egg hatch or egg bundle. I don't know what you call them. Sack's the word. S-A-K. God, don't ask me to spell. Speaking of which, we should do a word stream someday. Yeah, she had an egg sack, And then one day she disappeared, and I was like, oh, is she gone? And my wife was like, she's probably dead, actually. She's probably on the floor, and the fact that we can't find her means that a lizard or a bird or something has seen her, and she's dead. But her babies hatched like weeks after that, and now they've all flown away, except we found 2. So 2 did not fly very far. They must have built their little web parachutes, and then it took them all of about 30 centimeters. and there they've been for a week now. I'm like, are they actually ever going to move again? Or are they rebuilding the web parachute, or is this their home now? So I don't like their chances of catching the cockroaches. Back to the original point of the cockroach catching. I don't like their chances of that. But hey, you know, I need bigger spiders. More huntsmen. Are the huntsmen of the cockroach killers? I don't know. Maybe nothing that, I mean, the cockroach, there's too many cockroaches. I don't know if there's enough spiders to deal with it. Maybe more birds. I do have a fair few birds around here. There must be something going on here. It's too much nature where I am. I'm used to living in a bit of a more, like, more urban place than where I am right now. So I've probably just not copped cockroaches so much and other bugs because I've been up a floor or 2. Considering most trials practice parent-child cannibalism, probably safer the bird got further hatch. Yeah. Yeah. There's a few ways that can go for sure. I mean, that's a bug thing, isn't it? Just generally speaking. Well, and a lot of other animals too. I've heard enough stories about guinea pigs. Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, they're so alien, you know, bugs and insects. You know, they do, you know, parent-child cannibalism. You know, that's pretty rough. And I'm like, yeah, have you seen a guinea pig give birth? It's a mess. It's an absolute. Anyone who's seen it happen I was probably terrified by it. You hope it happens in the night and you go, wow, they've only had 8 babies. And just don't have to know about the other 8 that happened. And some animals are like that otherwise too, right? You watch enough nature documentaries, you know, you see lots of different animals do it, I guess. Crazy to see. Absolutely crazy. Thank God we're humans. Thank God this reincarnation cycle landed me as this old fart. Could have been worse. Could have been a spider. It gets eaten. Well, probably the fate of every spider eventually. Or curls up and shrivels. Or gets squashed by someone who's very squeamish. I don't know if it's fun as be as spiders as I imagine it to be. If I imagine it to be fun at all. Gosh, what a sidetrack. What are we talking about here? Why am I to the hospital to conversations? Put a spider on background instead of a hospital. I think I don't know, apparently ants have been known to purposely flood other colonies and steal larvae to eat, but redirecting small streams. Yeah. Ants are, well, I'm not sure if ants are clever or there's like some hive mind going on there. But yeah, bugs are terrific. Lots to learn from. And we've learned a lot from them, and we still, I don't know, continue to learn. You can learn a lot by studying nature. And you can learn a lot just full stop everywhere. It's actually a theme I was thinking about. I was actually thinking about this the other day, Destin-san. And I'm glad you're here because, you know, you're the most regular of regulars. If any other regulars are here, say hi. Say hash exclamation mark lurk. I'd be happy to see you. Always happy to hear a hello from anyone. But Destin-san, you are the regularist of regulars. So I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, I was actually thinking about this the other day. And I was like, something feels wrong with my schedule. I've gone up to 4 days. But I feel like things are slower somehow. And I was actually thinking about this a lot today because work was very slow. Sorry, I'm going to get distracted. We'll talk about the stream in a second. But I had one of those days of work where you rock up for the day and there is nothing to do. Absolutely nothing. And so what you do is you make yourself look busy, you know, because, you know, maybe that'll change, right? There's nothing to do right now. In an hour, who knows what's going to happen, right? It could be an absolute mess in an hour. And you'll wish that you were quiet and calm again. So, you start a bit slow, you stew on your coffee a bit longer, you try find something to keep yourself busy, cleaning, tidying up, sometimes things like that. Sometimes you'll look at, like, the tasks that they're not important, but, hey, if you got some free time, why not just knock a couple of those off? So far down the ladder, the ladder of tasks, priority, that they're probably things that, like, you could have done next year and it still would have been too early. But, you're just like, yeah, I'll keep myself busy. And then that was the whole day. So I was very bored today. So I'm glad that I'm streaming because I was able to actually look forward to something. It's just one of those days where I just staring at work going, please something happen. Please let me do something. It's just one of those. Some days, quiet days, all right, sometimes, but sometimes you need actually to do something, or you're gonna pass out or fall asleep or just go crazy. Like almost like being stranded on an island, having no work to do. You're just there going, oh my god, let me out. But because of that, because I'm just sitting down all day doing nothing and thinking about, I have a lot of time for my brain. And my brain's a wonderful space. What's left of it? What left of it actually can work is an interesting space. And yeah, I was thinking about the streams and everything. I'm like, something's slightly off. Something doesn't feel like, I don't know. What's wrong with it? Why? Don't care about the viewers or something. Like, why am I not as excited every night as I am some nights? And then I realized, very simply, I'm very excited for the Fallout streams. I've enjoyed that playthrough a lot. The other two games, Avowed and Fields of Mystria, I was like, well, I'm liking them. I am liking them. I'm not gaslighting myself into them. I think Avowed seems to be a pretty fantastic game. I can see a lot of playability in there. I can see myself exploring the whole world there. Fields of Mystria appears to be a very relaxing game, very calming. It's a good change of pace. So what's wrong with this, right? What's wrong with these three games? And I think it's actually just broadly just how the streams have been going. And it's 3 long games that I'm playing now. 3 games that probably all, in total, don't finish until, I don't know. I don't know how long Avowed is. I don't know how long Fields of Mystria is. It's probably months of playability, especially if I do one stream a week and the little hours a stream. Months of playability in that. Fallout New Vegas has already gone for, March now? I started in, well, technically July last year, but I did 2 streams. I started at the end of December. So I've been playing Fallout New Vegas now for, like, 2 straight months, basically. With just the breaks of a couple of other games in the middle of that. And yeah, it just made me realize it's just a lot of long playthroughs. And that's fine, but to have so many going at once just feels like I'm just taking forever to do everything. Which, I'm very good at taking forever to do everything in this age. I tell you what, it's just everything I do is at the pace of molasses compared to how it used to be. Just so slow. And yeah, I just think I need a slight change in the week, a change of pace, not a game that is going to be weeks, well, not weeks of work. These games are all months and months of playing. So I actually want to change the tune of the channel a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what I want to say about that yet because it's stuck in my head, obviously. I keep a notebook on my desk just to doodle ideas when I get slow lulls in the call center. I actually came up with some of my favorite comics ideas there. Thanks for not the call center now, though. Call center jobs, firstly, call center jobs, suck. I've never heard anyone go, damn, I love the call center. That's the best place in the world. Yeah, can't wait to get promoted to senior call center operator. No one's saying that, at least. I've known a lot of people who have done call centers. I actually, fortunately, myself, have somehow never landed a call center job. But I do know that it definitely, a lot of people have had it, and it's paid the bills for them. That's usually as much of this as they've said positively about the call center. I've known some people who've hated the job, and I've known some people who have thought the job is okay. That's the range of it, from okay to absolute loathing. It's not from good to bad, it's the middle to the bottom. So that's the call center experience, and I'm glad you're out, but hey, a lot of people have done it, and a lot of people I know have done it, and they've had to do it to get by, obviously. But yeah, it's good if you have something on the side to do when it's a bit quiet. And this is actually like, in fact, most shorts that you see me do is me sort of preparing stuff. I usually am like either writing down notes or watching my own like videos or putting like notes down on how to make it short, usually when there's a lull in work. Because usually when I'm in the flow of this conversation, I have no idea what I'm saying. I've said it before, 𝑑𝒓𝒆, and you'll hear it again. But any thought that you hear come from me doesn't come from the brain. It goes straight to the spinal cord and just bounces back like a reflex. So if you're looking for deep, profound thoughts that take a long time to plan and think about, and stories that I've written down meticulously that have a great conclusion and a great character arc, you're going to miss them out here. Because it doesn't get to the brain. It doesn't go that far. Even that sentence, as I was starting to say it, I didn't know where it was going to go. But yeah, it's good to have something that you can do. It's a nice that I've got this little hobby, this little, you know, this little VTubing, streaming hobby. Will I ever take it super seriously? I don't know. I'd like to think that one day I could be doing more of this, that's for sure. I enjoy it a lot. But maybe I just enjoy talking. I should get a job in radio. Not with this voice, though. I've said, I don't know if I've said this before, but basically I always think that I've got the face for radio and the voice of an author. I shouldn't be seen or heard. But hey, with VTubing, I can look way less wrinkly than I actually am. way less skin blemishes. I don't have to find the right lighting to phase out all of this. All this I got going on. Podcasts and Twitch streams seem to be the new radio now. They do a bit, don't they? I mean, you say that, but I actually still listen to AM radio, 𝑑𝒓𝒆. Oh, sorry, I don't know if there's an overseas equivalent of AM radio, but I'll give the analogy just in case it is different around the world. But AM radio in Australia, at the very least, is radio that goes over a long band, and thus it can be reached far away, but the quality's lower, so it's good for talking, but bad for music. So if you listen to music on AM radio, it sounds like it was made in the 50s or earlier. And it was how it would sound back then. But, so the quality's bad, but for talking, that's usually enough. You don't have a big mix of lots of different things going on with talking. It's just usually one guy going on, like me, right now, talking. But yeah, podcasts seem to be the new thing. I'm basically a radio star now. A star in one person's eyes, 𝑑𝒓𝒆. Thank you for watching. And maybe in my wife's eyes, but she doesn't watch these, so maybe not. I think I'm a star outside of my streams for my wife. That's nice that she thinks that way about me still. God love her. God love her. And yes, thank you, 𝑑𝒓𝒆. And to other people who are, even if they're not here, other of the people are here, like Froggo's are regularly here, and Waffle Lord from last time, and Time Tiger, and anyone else that turns up, and whose names I've forgotten, and probably will continue to forget. I will try my best to remember them, but let it be known. A, I have a recency bias, so I'll probably only remember you if you've been here recently. And B, I have no memory space left. I love the idea that I have more memory space. And I must be fitting stuff into it, because some names I've remembered. I've remembered some things about Fallout that I didn't think I would. Like the other day, we remembered that there was a shack that Veronica was meant to go to. I don't even know where I pulled that one out of. Must have really bothered me that shack needed someone called Veronica, even though I didn't know who Veronica was at the time. So I fit some stuff into the memory. But that said, it feels like everything I squeeze in squeezes something out at this point. I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting now. Something else has probably gotten forgotten with this Fallout knowledge, and every other bit of knowledge I gain with these streams. Something's falling out. Probably my writing skill or my drawing skill or something like that. Working more fan art of the New Vegas streams. I have doodle design for Waffle Lord based on the name. That's good. That's good. I like that you're art centric. I wish I was more art adjacent. But my doodles are much like the image editing you see here. They're pretty average. They're actually way more average than this. I can put that now that someone's shown me how to do image editing. I can do this in a second. To make it look good, I can't do because that requires actual artistic flair. I haven't got artistic flair worth a damn, that's for sure. No artistic flair at all. But hey, we're having a good time with it anyway. But yeah, I think that is probably unique, not unique, a bit different to a lot of VTubers. Well, from what I've seen, and forgive me, for I am definitely new on all this, but from what I've seen, a lot of VTubers are very, very art adjacent. They're either fantastic artists themselves, and have drawn their own characters and OCs and everything like that, and that's amazing for them. I'm genuinely impressed when I see some of these characters and designs and ideas, and I wish I could do it, but I can't. So anything you see here is either borrowed, stolen, or paid for. Or put together by me. And when it's put together by me, it'll be obvious. like this beautiful hospital gown, it'll be obvious when something has been happened for me. Everything else, yeah, I can't draw. I cannot draw. Even if you gave me a lot of time and I was really, really careful, I might be able to make the square that I draw look good and maybe even accurate. But actually, like, if you said put rounded corners on that square, I'm stuffed. I have no chance. Either way, it's always a mess when it comes to me and art. I've tried. I actually told this story to my kid a long time ago. But basically, I could actually pinpoint the point where I stopped doing art. And it was actually thanks to, randomly, this is going to be a random segue, randomly thanks to a Bluey episode. Now, I don't know how many of you know Bluey very well, but if you're in Australia and you have anyone in your family or household under the age of, let's say, 8, 9, 10, then you probably have seen or heard of Bluey at the very least. In my household, where I've seen, there are lots of younger grandkids, there is a lot of Bluey watching that happens. To the point where I can quote a fair few of the episodes, that's for sure. And there's an episode, I wonder if I can find it and then play it across here. I don't know, I'll probably get copyright struck or something. I don't know how much. I assume Bluey's been licensed by Disney or something, right? I would absolutely, this whole channel would be torn down. They would send, Walt Disney would roll out of his grave and he'd be like, "Old timer, I remember you when you were young. Stop watching Bluey." Even though here in Australia, it's on the ABC. It's free, which is fantastic. But there's an episode where basically they talk about where art was, where Bluey is not learning to draw. Bluey is unhappy with her quality of drawing, right? She wishes she could draw better. And the mum basically says, "Hey, why don't you cast a draw?" Like, she's quite a good artist. "Why don't you cast a memory spell on me and your dad?" And, cast a memory spell on the mum, and she had a very supportive mum who encouraged her to continue practicing, continue drawing, and she got very good at it because of that. But the memory spell on the dad was where he used to love to draw cars, and a bully, basically, or a classmate of his, told him that, that's a pretty bad car. It's a pretty bad drawing. And so he sort of stopped drawing, right? And this gave me, like, 120-year flashback to when I was in school. And I was drawing, and it was just a really normal drawing. Like, it was an art class or something, and I was in, I want to say, whatever it was when I was in about 8 or 9. I was about 8 or 9 or 10, somewhere around that age. I don't remember exactly. It gets fuzzy. The decades I'm talking about, the past, it gets fuzzy trying to get an exact age. But 8, 9, 10, it was something in that, like middle of what primary school is. And I drew just a lovely environment, and I put a smiley face on my son. And the teacher came over and specifically stopped in front of me and said, young timer, you are 9 years old now. It's stupid of you to be still drawing happy smiley faces on sons." And then she left. And I was so embarrassed. And this is a flashback I've had watching Bluey. I was so embarrassed with my own drawings at the time that I basically never really cared for drawing much. Ever after that. I don't know if it was exactly that point. I was loving drawing before that, but it maybe is a symptom of things that had happened before that. And maybe after that too. But that's a pivotal, that's like a core memory. I've got that locked away in my brain of don't put a smiley face on a sun because your teacher you had when you were 9 years old is going to tell you that you're childish and you should grow up. And that's a core memory. That's sitting there buried in the old noggin under all the wrinkles of rain. That one I don't forget. I laugh to hide the pain. That's a genuine laugh. Yeah, no, I have no art skill now because of that. I always wish I could do art. It is one of those things I'd love to do, but gosh, I know how much work goes into it. I really respect the people that can do it really well. My wife's a great artist. She doesn't think so. I think that's what's that called? The imposter syndrome? I've had that with other things, not art, but other things like writing. It's a good example, but it doesn't matter how good you get at something, you compare yourself to someone who's better at it. So, yeah, a lot of artists struggle with that, I know. I need to put a smiley face on the next thing I post now. Oh, please do. Please do. Much appreciated. Oh, what did you say before? Sorry. For using third-party assets, your all-over style cohesion is really good. Thank you. I'm surprised you think I have any style cohesion. I'll style it. Oh, really? Not many people think I'm stylish in real life. Even me. I don't think I'm stylish. What do I wear? Just whatever's in the drawer. You're always your own worst critic. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's something called imposter syndrome. Someone, I learned this. Did I find it out I learned it from someone. Oh, like ages ago. Who did I learn it from? It might just be in a YouTube video at this rate, or a TED Talk or something like that. But yeah, imposter syndrome is a very, very real thing. Everyone goes through it. Even people who are probably at the top of their craft will still have imposter syndrome. That's basically that you just never feel like what you do is perfect because you're going to compare it to other people. I mean, let me get the actual proper definition of imposter syndrome just over here, just because I don't want to, again, I hate to talk falsehoods and mistruths. Oh, I was going to pull this over here, but actually I have a button for this, don't I? Bam. Imposter syndrome. Also known as imposter phenomenon, is a psychological experience in which a person suffers from feelings of intellectual and/or professional fraudulence. And you feel that, why? Because of your self-doubts and your abilities and accomplishments when compared to others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary. I know a lot of people who effectively deal with this a lot. A lot. Me included. In various professions I've had, and various hobbies that I've picked up, it's so easy to just get stuck, basically going, well, I'm not very good. And it doesn't matter actually if you're very good. You might be exceedingly average, but you don't even think of yourself as average. Whatever you are, you think of yourself as way below that. And you struggle to get out of that pit, basically. It's like you've fallen into a pit, and you just can't get out because the weight of, like, other people's accomplishments seems to be upon you. And this is why sometimes people who make the best stuff are absolutely just on their own, like, out in the woods doing their own thing. Like with no one watching. And watching no one else. You know, it's a very real thing where it's so easy to just sit there all the time comparing what you do to other people. And it can really harm your creativity. Well, and just skills and talents. What else is it? Accomplishments? I mean, it's just a doubt that you have, and people have all the time. I think everyone has to suffer from it in some way. There probably is a really interesting psychological thing about this, but I am not a psychologist, and definitely not trained. So anything I say, again, from an amateur perspective. Everyone had that animation degree class. We were spending hundreds of hours over the semester doing the projects and never happy with it. It can happen. It can happen. I know lots of people who worked in various creative fields, actually. In fact, a lot of my friends and colleagues have either worked in or are working in or are working towards doing some sort of creative sort of work. And it's such a common story where they just spend so much time on something and they're not happy with it. And me included. I have so many projects over the years that are basically just forgotten, left sitting there on the shelf collecting dust because I just feared they weren't very good. I said, Meow, hello, how are you? Good, thank you. Thank you for popping by and saying hello. And saying meow, I guess in the past. You said meow, apparently, but I didn't remember seeing it in chat. But meow back to you, sir. Oh, ma'am. I shouldn't assume anymore, should I? Meow to you too. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I actually know some people who work in animation as well, and yeah, it's actually a very par for the course idea. But yeah, I mean, there's always, I don't know, I've tried to come around to the idea that there's always something better. Sorry, there's always someone better than you at something. Even if you're, say, I don't know, you're the best author in the world, you probably don't think that. You probably think you're the best writer of a very, and then you probably niche it down in some way, because then you would compare to some other people who write different things, right? Maybe you think, oh, I'm actually pretty good at characters, but this guy, oh, he does settings so well. The descriptions of action are amazing, flawless. So, you know, you compare, and you'll probably feel like, oh, I'm just not very good anymore. It's very easy to do. But yeah, I've done it with so many projects over the years. I still look back at them and think, maybe I should open them up again. But then the fear of the failure and the previous experience of failing with that project sort of does slow me down and stop me from doing it. And I'm trying to not let this turn into that too. I'm trying to stick consistent with this, which is why I'm streaming tonight, even though I should be basically sitting on the toilet and having a sleep. But I've been rambling for an hour. This is a pretty good run. Given that there's no games and no real topic I'm talking about. I've just been rambling and rambling. And and just to Destin-san, really. And now I said meow. I've now talked to 2 people in one night. Not a record, but close to. Especially with no topic. Like, there's just been no topic. I don't even know. What if we even talked about? I have to watch this VOD tomorrow. I watch this stream in the past tomorrow and be like, oh man, I just talked some real absolute waffle. If there's any gems in any of this, please let me know. I don't think there is. As I said, from not even to the brain, straight from the spinal cord to the mouth, to the vocal box. I don't even know if, and the mouth that moves on its own as well after that, I guess. But it's been a good chat, and I probably actually, as I said earlier, this should be a short stream because I probably actually need to get my rest. And not just talk forever, because that is actually, I find, very exciting. And if I'm too excited with all this conversation, then I actually won't rest very well. I'll be up all night thinking about stuff. And that means I won't be ready for the hospital visit tomorrow. What's he saying? This is the funniest thing about the course is the whole module based on publicly presenting our projects. It's hilarious because none of us were social enough to get up and talk in front of people types. You're all nerdy introverts, but I was drawing the lights of graphics tablets. That's a very common story. Remind me to tell you the time as a teacher one day. But yeah, no, it's I've taught a group of very, very, very introverted people. And you have to do presentations when you're teaching. It doesn't matter what, I think, short of maybe kindergarten. Not even kindergarten to show and tell. I don't think it matters what you're teaching. At some point, there's a show and tell session. And some people loathe show and tell. And some certain groups of people, especially in, I think, a lot of creative spheres, and this is because a lot of creative people sometimes have been pushed into creativity a bit by their struggles with social anxiety. Not speaking from experience or anything. Or from having seen it a lot. But, and thus they eventually get to the show and tell part. And even if they're actually proud of their project, which, as we've discussed before with imposter syndrome, they're never proud of their project. It does have to show and tell, right? I think if they were if it could be, the happiest they ever would be was they just submit the video, and then none of them, and then that just gets played on a randomized shuffled reel of animations, or on a video it just goes through images and drawings and stuff like that. And then, no, and they're all anonymous. That's probably the ideal. No one knows what anything is, and they don't have to talk about it. But the show and tell part is tough, I get it. I used to struggle with show and tell. And then a couple of jobs just changed me, and old age. At a certain point of age, most people just go, oh, whatever. I actually don't care about my social the way I appear to people anymore. I will just absolutely say what comes to mind, and that'll be my downfall. or upheaval. Something's going to happen when I say what comes to mind, and it depends on how moderated, or how well moderated or well thought my thoughts are before they come out of my mouth. As you can tell by what I say, my waffles are not well thought out. But I like to think that I generally, even though I say what I think, without any reserve, I like to think that I say good things. And obviously, if I ever misstep, please do correct me. I am, obviously, as I have said, very old, and I'm always happy to learn. Always happy to learn if there are any things that I misstep with or I don't understand, because I'm here to learn. And to err is human, right? And yeah. I like to think that I say pretty good things, but we'll see. We'll see. If I keep doing this streaming, eventually, I'm probably sure I'll say something really stupid. Even more stupid than this little tangent that I'm going on. Eventually, it's gonna happen. Anyway, I've probably talked off long enough. Pretty much not managed to drop a slur yet. I did say savage last night. Not last night, on Sunday. Because the boomers were calling me savage, then I let out the savage word too. Terrible. Terrible. No, I don't think I really have a slur in my vocabulary. I like to drop the F-bomb a lot. That's probably my one thing. My one weakness. Once I had kids, that dropped a lot. Before I had kids, oh yeah, my mouth was rancid. Absolutely. The words that come out of me were foul. But not slurring. I don't know. I don't like putting people down. I don't get why you would. The end. Like, generally, like, I don't get it. People do it. It's not a good reflection in any way. You should aim to have it. I don't know. Aim to be nice. There shouldn't even be an aim. It should be a default state. Aim to be better than that. Aim to improve. Anyway, if a slur is in my vocabulary, it's because I probably haven't thought about it being actually a slur. That's probably it. Like one that struck me a few years ago. I was like, oh, we were certainly slurring it back then. Was what's the nursery rhyme? Oh, the kids game. See, now I can't remember because I'm too tired. It was the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. There's nowadays it's Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, catch a tiger by its toe. When I was younger, or many years before it was catch a tiger, it was catch something else. And I remember looking at it and going, oh, we were racist little shits back then. No, we were just unaware, obviously. No kids. Kids are learned behavior, right? So we all learned that from something. But yeah, that's why they look back and go, oh, that's an unfortunate rhyme that we were all saying back in the day, wasn't it? Tiger's much better. Let's give it tiger. Oh yeah. There's a few rhymes and there's a few things you look back on, you go, I never knew. And yeah, I'm glad they've changed stuff. Generally speaking, hopefully one day it's just everyone just like realizes how much one people we all are. I don't know. I can dream. Big dreams, that one is. But I remember Star Trek. That's the ideal, right? All together. I mean, I appreciate individualism and culture as much as everyone else, but I also like to think that one day we all say we're just the same people, right? Just, I'm more wrinkled than the rest of you. That's the big difference. I've got more wrinkles. Otherwise, we're basically, you and me, we're the same. Well, maybe your eyesight isn't this bad. You might also have hair on your head. And you might also not be going to hospital tomorrow. And if so, congratulations. But as for me, I am actually going to hospital tomorrow. So I probably, actually, really need to go have a sleep before. So I can actually have the energy to get put to sleep tomorrow. That's exhausting. From my experience, getting put to sleep, very exhausting. It actually doesn't count as rest. You don't feel rested at all. But it is pretty fun to be telling someone about how your day has been, and then to be in a bed, like, hours later, and not remember what's anything that's happening. Just blink and you're there. It's actually amazing. Good luck with that. Take a book, charge your phone. Yeah, both maybe? Yeah, both. Good idea, actually. I will definitely charge my phone. But you need that sometimes, like to call people to say, hey, come pick me up. So maybe I'll take a book as well, in case things get delayed. And sometimes, my cheap phone, it actually absolutely drains battery like no one's business. Barely lasts a day. But yes, thank you for the good luck. I will hopefully see you again on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday. There'll be definitely no stream tomorrow. Because, yeah, I'll probably be on asleep. I can't think of any other better way to phrase it. I'll be tired and exhausted and probably very sore. So hopefully I will recover well. I assume I will. It's a pretty routine sort of thing, apparently, fixing the hernia. And I'll be good Saturday, Sunday. We'll be back for some streams. Right now, I've got Saturday as Avowed, Sunday as Fallout New Vegas. That might change. I'm starting to think maybe Avowed and Fields of Mistral is maybe not the right thing to do on this channel at the moment. And I should just focus on maybe one game at a time, or one main game and then some side projects. But I'll stew on it. And while I'm doing nothing and lying in bed, I'll stew on it some more. And we can talk about it on the weekend. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, a fantastic rest of the week. I hope to see you on the weekend where we can party. I can party about how my belly button's gone back to a nitty. Woohoo! See you then. Bye-bye.